Moikka! Ihmettelette varmaan, että miten iso musta muovinen tuote, joka sisältää kaiken lisäksi elektroniikkaa, niin voi sopia kestävän kehityksen tarinaan. Otetaan tästä selvää seuraavan haastateltavamme kanssa. Hi James, we are happy to have you here with us. We are wondering how can a black plastic product fit into the green story of sustainability. And therefore I have a few questions for you. But before going to the green story, I have to ask, how has COVID-19 affected the printer supplies industry?
Yes, well, thank you, Tommy, and hello. Well, firstly, the closure of the corporate offices and businesses, I think, has really seen a shift in the workplace from office to home. So there's been a big increase in demand for SOHO printers, so the small office, home office printers and consumables. And really that's also led to a lot of online purchasing by end users, which I think it can actually be an opportunity for Lyreco via the online and SOHO market segment.
Yeah, I think so too. And then to the green story, how are Lyreco manufactured cartridges more environmentally friendly?
Well, based on the concept of reuse, which is the highest form of environmental responsibility, it's superior recycling that doesn't use non-renewable resources to break down plastic and metal, and remanufactured imaging supplies reduce landfill waste. Did you know that, for example, reusing a single cartridge saves on average 0.9 kilograms of metal and plastic from being deposited in landfills? And the plastic discarded in toner cartridge can take up to 1,000 years to disintegrate. Remanufactured cartridges dramatically reduce the consumption of ecologically damaging fossil fuels, and remanufacturing uses 50% less oil to produce a remanufactured cartridges rather than the OEM.
Yeah.
So if we look at Lyreco cartridges, 79% of Lyreco remanufactured cartridges are made from reused components. And the biggest part is the plastic core. That's the little black bit of black plastic you speak about there, which is an empty OEM cartridge core.
Yeah, good, thank you. What is the circular economy and how does it apply to Lyreco remanufactured cartridges?
Well, a circular economy aims to maintain the value of products, materials and resources for as long as possible by returning them into the product cycle at the end of their use while minimising the generation of waste. And the European Green Deal was created by the EU Commission in 2019. And at the heart of the core of the EU Green Deal is the Circular Economy Action Plan, presented to EU legislatures in March 2020. The aim of the action plan is to reduce the EU's consumption footprint and to double the EU's circular material use rate in the coming decade while boosting economic growth. Preventing waste from being created is also key, and once waste has been created, it needs to be transformed into high quality resources. So if we remanufacture, reuse and recycle, one industry's waste becomes another's raw material. So we can move to a more circular economy where waste is eliminated and resources are used in an efficient and sustainable way. Now, Clover's been employing a circular economy blueprint in its production and waste management process for many, many years. For over 20 years, in fact, I think we've focused on a single mission, which is to offer businesses and consumers an environmentally friendly alternative to single-use printer cartridges in the form of remanufactured printer cartridges, such as the Lyreco branded cartridges we're talking about today. At every stage in our operations, we strive to use or reuse material and give a second life to objects that would otherwise just end up in a landfill. So every cartridge or empty cartridge that we collect via the various recycling programs we have is evaluated first for remanufacturing material and then for material recovery through recycling. Each remanufacturable cartridge is put through Clover's multi-step remanufacturing process and returned to the marketplace. If a cartridge is not remanufacturable, then all viable components are harvested for use in the remanufacturing of other cartridges or recycled into to produce in other products. And by harvesting these components from the waste stream, Clover conserves the non-renewable resources required to make cartridges from scratch.
Yeah. All right, thank you. So why are the new build cartridges considered so inferior to remanufactured and yet continue to flood the market?
Well, a new build cartridge is made from 100% non-OEM materials, including the empty cartridge itself. Therefore, they're potentially and often IP infringing, and OEMs are aggressively bringing legal actions against the sellers of new build cartridges, and they're either winning those lawsuits or they're extracting settlement terms that ban the infringing new build cartridges from re-entering the market. But Lyreco cartridges are remanufactured and they are 100% IP compliant. Lyreco cartridges reuse not just the OEM casings, but also some of the OEM critical components that are frequently covered by OEM patents. And such extensive reuse of the OEM components is the critical element to Clover's industry-leading IP safety record, an element that can't be replicated by any new build cartridge manufacturer out there. The cost of the new build cartridges is driven by the use of cheaper plastics with inferior quality in the manufacturing process of the cartridge. So unlike Lyreco genuine remanufactured products, a new build cartridge does not use the empty OEM cartridge as the starting point of the manufacturing process. This decreases the reliability of the cartridges and it causes more issues with the printer and with the print quality, which then in turn increases printer maintenance costs and your total cost of ownership. Additionally, stated page yields of new build cartridges may not be achieved, meaning you will actually order more cartridges over the printer lifetime, therefore driving up the cost per page. And new build cartridges are not environmentally sustainable, as they can't be remanufactured, they can't be reused, so then they do end up in landfills, and they don't have recycling or collection programs, and they don't support the concept of the circular economy, and they are not WEEE compliant, which is the waste electrical goods. They also contribute to the world's massive plastic pollution issue, forming part of the 6.3 billion tons of plastic waste generated in the world. So you ask why they still sell in large volumes. Well, price and only price, which is achieved through low-cost components. There's no after-sales support, no collection programs, and little investment in relevant EU environmental and quality compliances. That's the reason they still sell in large volumes.
Yeah. So what safeguards and compliances are there to ensure Lyreco cartridges meet quality excellence?
Okay, so Clover uses independent testing, so a third-party testing, to ensure that our remanufactured cartridges do hold up to the performance standard of the OEM equivalents. And the Lyreco cartridges are supported by all the key industry certification, from quality to environmental and health and safety. ISA 9001, 14001, 50001, DIN, Nordic Swan, WE, REACH, Blue Angel. I could go on all day. There's lots and lots of certifications.
Yeah, so we are in good hands with Lyreco cartridges.
Very much so, very much so. The
All right.
page yields are also benchmarked to OEM standards, so they are tested in accordance to ISO 19752 and ISO 19798. There's one there for mono and one there for color. And the best bit about it all is all Lyreco cartridges have a lifetime warranty, and by using these printer cartridges, the printer warranty stays valid.
All right. Thank you, James, about everything, this info you gave to us.
No problems, Tommy.
All right.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.